What are the 5 main stages of child development from birth through adolescence?
Infant, 0 to 1 year, toddler, 1 to 3 years, preschool, 3 to 5 years, school age, 6 to 12 years, and teen/adolescent, 13 to 18 years. Each stage has distinct physical, cognitive, and social milestones.
What major cognitive milestone typically emerges around 8 to 12 months of age?
Object permanence, the understanding that objects continue to exist even when they cannot be seen. This is why babies begin to look for hidden toys and experience separation anxiety.
Why is the toddler stage, 1 to 3 years, often called the terrible twos?
Toddlers are developing autonomy and a sense of self, but lack the language and emotional regulation skills to express their needs. This mismatch leads to frequent frustration, tantrums, and the use of no as they assert independence.
What is parallel play, and at what stage is it most common?
Parallel play is when children play alongside each other without directly interacting or sharing. It is most common during the toddler stage, ages 2 to 3, and is a normal precursor to cooperative play.
How does a preschooler's thinking differ from a school-age child's thinking according to Piaget?
Preschoolers, pre-operational stage, think egocentrically and struggle with logic and conservation tasks. School-age children, concrete operational stage, can think logically about concrete events, understand conservation, and see things from others' perspectives.
What emotional and social changes characterize adolescence?
Teens develop abstract thinking, form a stronger sense of identity, seek more independence from parents, and are heavily influenced by peer relationships. Hormonal changes can intensify emotions and risk-taking behavior.
What is positive parenting and how does it differ from permissive parenting?
Positive parenting sets clear boundaries and expectations while using encouragement, empathy, and respectful communication. Permissive parenting also avoids punishment but lacks consistent boundaries, leading to fewer expectations for behavior.
How does natural consequences work as a positive discipline technique?
Parents allow children to experience the natural outcomes of their choices in safe situations, rather than imposing punishment. For example, if a child refuses to wear a coat, they feel cold. This teaches cause and effect and personal responsibility.
What is the difference between praise and encouragement in positive parenting?
Praise focuses on the outcome, good job, you got an A, while encouragement focuses on effort and process, you worked really hard on that project. Encouragement builds intrinsic motivation and resilience rather than dependence on external validation.
Why is consistency important in setting boundaries for children?
Consistent boundaries help children feel secure because they know what to expect. Inconsistency creates confusion and anxiety, and children may test limits more frequently to find out which rules actually apply.
What is active listening and why is it critical when communicating with children?
Active listening means giving full attention, reflecting back what the child says, and validating their feelings before offering solutions. It builds trust, helps children feel heard, and models healthy communication skills they will use throughout life.
How should a parent use I statements instead of you statements with children?
Instead of saying you never listen to me, which sounds accusatory, say I feel frustrated when I have to repeat myself. I statements express feelings without blaming, reducing defensiveness and opening up constructive dialogue.
At what age can children typically understand and follow multi-step instructions?
Most children can reliably follow 2 to 3-step instructions by age 3 to 4. Younger toddlers respond best to one clear instruction at a time, given at their eye level with simple language.
Why is it important to validate a child's emotions even when their behavior is unacceptable?
Validating emotions, I can see you're really angry, separates the feeling from the behavior, teaching children that all feelings are acceptable but not all actions are. This builds emotional intelligence and helps children learn to regulate their responses.
What are common causes of tantrums in toddlers and how should parents respond?
Common causes include hunger, tiredness, overstimulation, frustration, and inability to communicate needs. Parents should stay calm, ensure safety, acknowledge the child's feelings, and avoid giving in to demands made during the tantrum to prevent reinforcement.
How can parents effectively handle sibling rivalry?
Avoid comparing siblings, give each child individual attention, teach conflict resolution skills, and let children resolve minor disputes themselves when safe. Set clear rules against physical aggression and praise cooperative behavior when it occurs.
What is time in and how does it differ from time out?
A time in involves sitting with the child in a calm space to help them process emotions and regain self-control, maintaining the parent-child connection. Time out isolates the child, which can feel like rejection. Time-ins teach emotional regulation more effectively for many children.
How should parents handle a child who frequently lies?
Understand that young children, under 5, often blur fantasy and reality, which is developmentally normal. For older children, focus on creating a safe environment where honesty is valued, avoid setting traps that encourage lying, and address the underlying reason for the lie rather than punishing harshly.
What are the key food groups children need for healthy development?
Children need fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and dairy, or calcium-rich alternatives. A balanced diet supports brain development, bone growth, energy levels, and immune function.
Why is iron especially important in a toddler's diet?
Iron is critical for brain development and cognitive function during the rapid growth phase of toddlerhood. Iron deficiency is one of the most common nutritional deficiencies in young children, potentially leading to anemia, fatigue, and developmental delays.
How much sleep does a school-age child, 6 to 12 years, typically need per night?
School-aged children need approximately 9 to 12 hours of sleep per night according to the American Academy of Pediatrics. Adequate sleep supports learning, memory consolidation, physical growth, and emotional regulation.
What is the cry-it-out method of sleep training and what is the main controversy around it?
The cry-it-out method, extinction, involves putting a baby down drowsy but awake and not responding to crying until morning. Supporters say it effectively teaches self-soothing, while critics worry it may cause stress and harm attachment, though research has not shown long-term negative effects.
What is the Ferber method of sleep training?
The Ferber method, graduated extinction, involves putting the baby down awake and checking in at progressively longer intervals without picking them up. It teaches self-soothing gradually while still providing some parental reassurance, typically showing results within 1 to 2 weeks.
At what age is sleep training generally considered appropriate to begin?
Most pediatricians suggest sleep training can begin around 4 to 6 months of age, when babies are developmentally capable of sleeping longer stretches and no longer require nighttime feedings as frequently. Always consult a pediatrician first.
What is emotional intelligence, EQ, and why is it important for children?
Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, manage, and express emotions effectively, and to empathize with others. Children with higher EQ tend to have better relationships, academic performance, mental health, and conflict resolution skills throughout life.
What are the 5 components of emotional intelligence that parents can teach children?
Self-awareness, recognizing one's own emotions, self-regulation, managing emotions, motivation, internal drive, empathy, understanding others' feelings, and social skills, navigating relationships. Parents teach these through modeling, coaching, and daily interactions.
How can parents help a child develop empathy?
Model empathetic behavior, discuss characters' feelings in books and movies, encourage perspective taking, how do you think your friend felt, and praise kind actions. Regular practice helps children internalize empathy as a natural response.
What is emotion coaching and how do parents practice it?
Emotion coaching, developed by John Gottman, involves noticing the child's emotion, treating it as a teaching opportunity, listening empathetically, helping the child label the feeling, and then setting limits while problem-solving together. It strengthens the parent-child bond and builds emotional vocabulary.
Why is unstructured free play important for child development?
Free play develops creativity, problem-solving, decision-making, and social negotiation skills that structured activities cannot replicate. It also reduces stress, builds resilience, and allows children to process experiences at their own pace.
What is authoritative parenting, and why do researchers consider it the most effective style?
Authoritative parenting combines high warmth and responsiveness with clear expectations and consistent boundaries. Research consistently links it to the best outcomes across academic achievement, social competence, self-esteem, and mental health because it balances nurturance with structure.
What is responsive parenting?
Responsive parenting means noticing a child's signals and responding with warmth, consistency, and appropriate boundaries.
Why is routine helpful for children?
Predictable routines create safety, reduce stress, and make daily transitions easier for children.
What is emotional co-regulation?
Emotional co-regulation is helping a child calm down by lending your own steady presence and support.
Why does connection matter before correction?
Children are more receptive to guidance when they feel seen, safe, and emotionally connected first.
What is a boundary in parenting?
A boundary is a clear limit around behavior, safety, or respect that is communicated and enforced consistently.
Why should expectations be age-appropriate?
Children need guidance that matches their developmental stage rather than adult assumptions about self-control.
What is positive reinforcement?
Positive reinforcement increases desired behavior by noticing and rewarding it consistently.
Why are calm consequences more effective than harsh punishment?
Calm consequences teach cause and effect without adding fear or shame that often blocks learning.
What is repair after conflict with a child?
Repair is reconnecting, acknowledging what happened, and restoring trust after a hard moment.
Why is modeling important in parenting?
Children learn heavily from what adults do, not just from what adults say.
What is a strong parenting principle?
Be both warm and firm so children experience safety, guidance, and respect together.
Why does parental self-regulation matter?
Children often borrow emotional cues from caregivers, so adult calm strongly shapes family tone.